Communions coming soon to Virgin Media 1 and Virgin Media Play. No, but there is a show on Monday night about communions on Virgin Media. But parents are pulling out all the stops for lavish communion celebrations, from chocolate fountains to selfie mirrors.
And a lot more. We're joined by economist Emma Howard, youth worker Adam Burke and Spirit FM broadcaster Wendy Grace. Good morning, to you
everyone.
all. To talk about this, it's called the Bouncy Castle Catholics. Rarely observe religion on a day-to-day basis, but dive headlong into this celebration. Adam, from your point of view of 4 kids, like the cost, the expectation now of communions, like it's a difficult one, isn't it, when you hear of bouncy castles, ice cream trucks, photo booths being delivered? What's it all about?
Yeah, I think it is a difficult one, but for me personally, I like to shut out that outside noise. I wouldn't let other people tell me how I should celebrate a day. And for me, communions and confirmations, I'm a youth worker, and I will often say it's very seldom that we celebrate young people when they haven't achieved something. It's very seldom we celebrate them just for being young people, just for being amazing young people. And I've got amazing young people in my life.
Birthday parties, they're getting celebrated. Like, I swear, I think young people are being over-celebrated. I have my own kids, do you mean? But like, they're birthday parties, and parties are gone crazy as well. Like, it's all costing so much.
Yeah, again, I think it's if you allow it to cost so much. For us, like the way communions and confirmations and birthdays look like in my house is it's all about family. It's about spending time with the people that you love. And I think there's no kind of better excuse than celebrating a young person to kind of get everybody in and around that young person and make a special day of it. So I don't really do the bouncy castles. I don't do that. They're allowed to pick one treat, one kind of activity that they want to do. But on the day itself, we spend time as a family, and then maybe a week later, we might go out to the cinema or something like that.
OK, so it's not 250 people in the house for a 3-course sit-down meal.
Absolutely not.
OK, Emma, this is the reality of communions, though. The price of them has gone up and up and up and up.
I mean, the price of everything has gone up, as we're all very well aware. And, you know, I think there probably are people like Adam out there who are trying to keep the costs low and not having all those add-ons. But there is this huge social pressure, right? Because if you're in a school, if you're in a class where all the kids have bouncy castles or chocolate fountains or whatever, you know, those social norms are really strong. We tend to use them as shortcuts. So, you know, you kind of, when you're making decisions, it's much easier just to do what everyone else is doing, or, you know, do what people have done before. So there's that element of it. Also, if you look at, you know, look at the data, and we don't have any good research recently, but 2019 Ulster Bank did a survey. So, you know, if you think about how much inflation has come from then, the average cost to parents of a first communion was over €700 back then. So, you know, you're probably thinking, while there's obviously, and again, you know, as Adam said, there's probably people who are spending a couple of €100, but then that means there's probably people who are spending thousands of euro on the day. So there's a big, and gifts is another part of it. So,
we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that.
Wendy, from your point of view, there's a lot of articles on this, but there are some articles reporting costs of parents spending up to €5,000 on these communions, and they're being dubbed as mini weddings. You've been to a couple of communions. I think you just had one recently yourself. Do you find that the expectation you're having to spend to put on a special occasion for the kids?
Oh, I totally understand the social pressure. And for us and our family of 4 kids, my eldest made his communion a few months ago. We did a really simple brunch in the house. Everybody asked, will I bring something? And our Irish, you know, instinct just go, oh no, it's grand. I'll do everything. I'll pay for everything. I did the opposite. I said, yes, I divvied out the jobs. I divvied out the chores. Ultimately, it's really sad when the social pressure takes over and what the day is about, which is a young person deepening their faith, and, you know, having that kind of walk in our family, which has been something that's brought a lot of happiness and joy in our lives in terms of faith. It's kind of getting them on, continuing on that journey. So, and as parents, I think it's a real learning opportunity, because of course, yes, you know, my son would be like, such and such had this, that or the other. But for me, it was an opportunity to say, well, this is how our family does things, and this is what really matters. We're trying to teach our kids, you know, in this world that's so pressurized, where they're so influenced by the influencers, to say, actually, these material things don't matter. And what's going to bring you satisfaction, joy, and happiness is the opposite of that, is friendship and love. And really, that's a lot of what Holy Communion is about. It's about helping our kids to find fulfillment and happiness through their faith.
And Wendy, you know, I really do agree with you, because it's so hard, right? I've been at a few communions this year, and it is you know, the child kind of being like, I've got this much, because it's an expectation. They saw it the year before, they've seen other things. So we've got what, about 69% of people in Ireland identify as Catholic, and about 88% of schools are under Catholic patronage. There is a gap there. So quite obviously there are an awful lot of children who are making their communion who aren't Catholic or aren't practicing Catholic. What do you make of that? Because it is a Catholic sacrament.
Yeah, I mean, I love when our local church, and I'm involved in the family ministry in our local church, obviously the communions are just gorgeous, but it is sad, you know, the following week where there mightn't be as many families there. But I think it's our job from a faith-based perspective is to keep reaching out to those families, because I've seen when we have really invited, we do a family mass once a month where we just go, why don't you just try come once a month, and we do all the music are done by the kids, the readings, the liturgy. And I found when we give that welcome, when we say, this is your home, this is the place for you, that, you know, people do respond to that invitation. There's a youth group in our church. It's prayer, pizza, fun. My 8-year-old goes to it every Saturday night. It's absolutely jam-packed. I think when you provide those moments to say, look, the church is here for you.
Yeah.
God just wants you to be happy.
Yeah.
Young people are hungry for that, you know, and that's why it's so sad when the material stuff takes over the community.
But there is this gap, obviously, Emma.
And a lot of that is, as you outlined, the vast majority of schools, 95% of schools in Ireland are denominational. There's only 5% that are multi.
Yeah.
The department did survey parents recently and found that parents who have children in Catholic schools, 40% of them would like the schools to be non-denominational. And so, again, from a decision-making point of view, that default is really strong, right? So we overwhelmingly stick with the default. If you are in a Catholic school, it's easier just to go along with Catholic instruction, go along with the communions, go along with the confirmations. And so I know this from personal experience, because I had to send my kids to a Catholic school because otherwise, you know, they couldn't walk, they couldn't go to school in the area.
Yeah.
And we're not Catholic. You know, I was raised a Catholic, but I deliberately opted out.
Yep.
And you know, they're opted out of religion. My son went through the communion year not making his communion when, you know,
everybody
there was tons
else
of
was.
religious instruction, everyone else was.
Yeah.
And that was easier than I thought initially, because, you know, he was happy enough. He said, you know, I don't believe in it, it's fine. Until he came home one day and said to me, you know, my friend told me that his brother got €1,000 for his communion. This seems really unfair. I'm not going to get any money.
There you go.
And so that pressure again is just, you know, so you're kind of damned if you do or damned if you don't.
But this is exactly what we're saying there, Adam, as well, is that we're trying to teach kids that material goods and money is not the be-all and end-all, and family and spending time together. But unfortunately, kids are getting €50 upwards, it sounds like, in a card to say congratulations. Like, is that the right message to be sent out to kids?
Hearing that one of the children are getting €1,000, I might make my own communion again. Like hearing that.
This is true. Like, this is what we're seeing a lot of time. Kids
It's been driven to be more materialistic. But that's where, like, parents need to be supported to, again, kind of mind themselves and stay in their own lane. Like, I don't focus or fixate on what other people are doing. And I don't get the sense from my children that they feel they're missing out. My children never bring to me that their friend got this or another friend got that. They remember the days and the experiences that we're creating for them.
As a youth worker, though, you must see it. You must see different kids getting different things. Or
Absolutely. And it's not just christenings and communions. It's Christmas time. It's everything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everything is played out online. It's very performative.
Yeah.
But we need to be able to teach young people that that's not real life.
We do, but it kind of all feeds into each other, because I know some friends, you know, the 50, you know, there's kids shouting out going, it's a blue one, it's an orange one, it's a red one, and you're like, oh my God, I can't give them the red one, I need to give them, they're shouting it out. But some parents who dip into the old communion stash on the day to pay for, like, I'll pay for the trampoline,
definitely.
I'll pay for the bouncy castle, but that, because it's so expensive.
It is.
How much, Emma, how much are people giving?
So On Plus Money did a survey last year. More than half of people give €50 or over. So it does seem like that's the kind of standard.
What sort of, like, who are we giving the €50 to?
I mean,
like, is this family?
That's the
is
question.
this friends?
See, I think it's mostly, it is, like, if you think about, you don't invite, like, first communions, I don't think anyway, have, like, a ridiculous amount of people invited. So it is mostly close family and probably close friends.
But Alan was talking about there, he knows a family that invited 50 people round. They had a 3-course meal.
Well, it's probably cost neutral given
Well, exactly.
the level
You'd want to be stealing the €50. loads to be getting to
would.
pay for that. I mean, this
Yeah.
is the sort of thing that people are... And all of a sudden, if you're trying to keep up with the neighbour who's doing this, it's such pressure.
It's like phones. It's a vicious cycle.
Do you know, again, it's part of this, like having religious instruction in the school, having everyone do it. It drives this spending spree. And I have friends who are in Educate Together, and this whole thing goes over their head. You know, they don't...
Does it?
Yeah, and there's no talk of communion. Some people, and of course, because it's an Educate Together, there's some people in the class who'll make their communions.
going off doing it
But
themselves.
it's completely separately, and they don't hear about it, and it's not, you know, and we spend, like, in the OECD, we spend double the time on religious instruction in schools as the OECD average. The only country in a comparable country who spends more time on religious instruction is Israel. So there's also that opportunity cost of all this time that's being spent on religious instruction for, you know, a lot of kids who are not actually practicing Catholics or religious.
We would love to hear from you on this when it comes to money, the religious aspect, everything. What do you make of the communions? 0896 111 111. How much do you expect your child to get? Do you take a little bit of that money to pay for the day? And were they all shouting about it and jealous about other people? Just to let you know as well, there's a programme Monday the 18th, 9 p.m. on Virgin Media. It's called First Communion. So it's a documentary.
Economist Emma Howard, youth worker Adam Burke, and Wendy Grace, the Spirit FM. Thank you all.
Thanks
for
so
coming.
much. Cheers. Thanks a million.